What's up, everybody? PJ Braun here, president of Blackstone Labs, aka Braun Fitness, aka Lord Braun. Got a couple of AKAs now, aka really messy hair, and I need to shave. Been here for like 5 hours, that's okay. Got my cardio Q&A out of the way. Now it is time for Project Freak Volume 3. Still not ready to show you his face yet, but I will show you how he trains his legs. I have him currently pre-exhausting his quads on the leg extension, and we're gonna actually do his entire lower body today. I'm gonna show you guys how I do a volume-based workout for him to really just get as much blood as possible into his lower body. That has been the premise of all these workouts so far, is volume, lots and lots of blood. He's already strong as hell. He's been training very heavy for a while, so I have him doing more progression into the volume. He's around the same weight as the last video, still very lean, and we're gonna do some legs. So I'm sitting here, I just realized looking at myself in the mirror how sunburned my face is from racing the cars this weekend. Somebody will tell me that I'm handsome though. We're on the seated hamstring curl. He's doing more pre-exhaust, okay? So 30-second rest between sets. I have him doing 4 sets, 20 to 25 reps. This machine, when you do this machine, I see a lot of people do this machine wrong. You want this pad to be below your knee. You don't want it on your kneecap, okay? If it's on your kneecap and it's rubbing on the tendons, you don't want that. The bottom of the pad should rest right on the back of your Achilles tendon. You lock yourself in, toes up, not down, flexed up, and you're bringing your heels all the way to your butt. Control it on the way up. You can be a little bit more explosive on the way down. You're controlling it on the way up. Now I want him, because we're doing our entire lower body together today, I want him pre-exhausting his lower body first before he gets into the hardcore stuff. So now that he's pre-exhausted, what I'm having him do, this is not his current routine. I don't have him squatting this week because he tweaked his back a little bit. We're just focusing on volume today. One of the things that I'm having him do is something I used to do when I was training for national shows and things like that, is we're gonna get on the leg press. We're gonna start with just 1 plate on each side. Very easy. He could probably do it 1,000 times. He's gonna do 20 reps. Then I'm gonna put another plate on. He's gonna do 20 reps again. He's gonna stay in there. He's not gonna get a rest. His only rest is me putting the plates on. I might take my time putting him on to let him breathe a little bit as it gets heavier. I'm gonna have him keep on going until he cannot complete 15 reps. When that happens, I'm gonna strip the weights down. So he's gonna do a lot of volume in a short amount of time here. He's fatigued his hamstrings, he's fatigued his quads. So the muscles are gonna be firing extra hard through this. This is also going to be such a long amount of time under tension for the muscle that in theory his body will produce excess growth hormone because of this, which will help him stay leaner. So without further ado, 20 reps. was in my prime, I used to finish off around 7 or 8. So he got 6. Now here's the thing, he is much, much, much stronger than I am. However, if you're not used to stamina and pace like that, it'll get you. I used to squat with a 242-pound powerlifting champion who was an 800-pound squatter all day. I couldn't come close to 800 pounds, but I would get him on this stuff and we would kill each other in the gym. So this is when, if you guys feel that you have a body part that you're not gonna go all out on, you need that person, especially on the big body parts like legs and back, to push you into zones that you're not used to going into. When you do that, you can take yourself to another level. Do I think you need a partner on arm day or shoulder day? No. It's good to have a spotter, but on days where you're working literally half of your body, get somebody that can take you to that next level, because he probably would have done this if I didn't make him do it. So, moral of the story is, a lot of people fail before they're really at failure. Come on, man, you can get it twice. Good, 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 good. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on, that's 10. Come on. Keep going. Come on. Keep going. Keep going. Come on. That's 16, bro. Get 4 more. 1, 2, 3. 1 more. Good. Polish. Go. Come on. Good. 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 Come on. 5. You gotta go at least 10 more. Come on. 6. Come on. 7. 8. All the way up. Come on. You gotta do 6 more, man. You got 6 more no matter what. Come on. 5 more. 4, 3, 2, 1 more. I'm gonna take 2 off. It's gonna be the last one. Failure. Don't push it anymore. Get in a good zone. Just crank these out now. Come on. It's light. Just keep moving it. Come on. Get rest. Come on. Good. 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 Come on. Keep going. Come on. Come on. Come on, you got more. Come on, Tree. You need 10 more. You got 10 more. Just bust them out. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5 more, 4 more, 3 more, all the way up. 2 more, 1 more. Very good. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna have him go pretty heavy on the hack squat, but one thing, and I've showed this in videos before that I want him focusing on, this is not something I do all the time, but I do it more often than not. I'm gonna have him keeping his feet together. And you'll see that my toes are slightly turned in, but it's not so much that my toes are turned in. I'm internally rotating my hips, okay? So from my hip, I'm rotating it in this way. And what this is gonna do, you're gonna concentrate on keeping your knees together also. When you come down, your knees are gonna want to go out. But we wanna really bombard the quads with these, okay? I want him, he's already got a very, very prominent sweep to his quads, and I wanna really unload his quads now. So, what I'm gonna do, when you come down, again, I'm rotating from my hips. So, when we come down, we're gonna focus on keeping the knees together. Now, you're gonna have a tendency to want your knees to go out. You don't want that. So, keeping the knees together. Driving through our feet, back up. The knees are staying in. We're not letting our knees go out, okay? Very, very important. I'm gonna be watching him to make sure I keep his knees in. I tell people, if you wanna imagine that you have like a tennis ball between your legs, sometimes they've even done this with people, and you can't drop that ball, that's where your knees are gonna be on this whole time. So, I'm taking my hips, right? And from here, I'm turning my hips in, and keep your knees together. Yep. Do not let your knees trail out. So focus on keeping them together. Just do 10 reps. People ask me all the time if I could go back in time and do things differently, would I do anything differently? And I would. I would leave my ego outside when I walked into the gym because I always wanted to train harder than everybody else. I always wanted to see how strong I could be when I was young, and that's foolish. You have to listen to your body. So you'll notice on this last set, I opened his stance up and I let him start letting his knees trail out. I actually changed the way he was driving his force from his heels to his toes. The reason I did that is he felt a little tweak inside of his really adductor hamstring area, okay? So he doesn't feel like he hurt anything, but he just felt a little bit of a tweak in there. When your body does that, that's your body saying, hey, don't do this anymore. To push through it, you're basically just saying, I don't care that my body is sending me this message. I'm going to go against my body. And when you do that, more often than not, you end up hurting yourself way worse than you needed to. Your body will send you these little messages of when you shouldn't do something anymore. Now, we're focusing on his legs and zooming the camera on his legs. You can see his legs are massive. So not doing one more heavy set is not going to affect his legs in any way. We're preserving him for the future. We've got many, many weeks ahead of us. There's no point, for the sake of the video, to try to do any more heavy weight on the hack squat now. You'll also notice that he does a very slow and controlled motion. So when you do that, you're going to feel everything a lot more than if you're just throwing the weight around, which is not something that I recommend. So from here, we're going to move into some supersets. Again, this is going back to the volume now. And I'm going to be conservative with his weights because I want him to focus on blood flow, not bothering anything. All right, we're moving into some supersets now. And again, we're doing our complete lower body today. So I have him doing lying hamstring curls, sets of 15. This is basically like doing a bicep curl, you know, with a straight bar. It's a very bread and butter exercise for hamstrings. But from here, we're going to go to a reverse lunge in the Smith machine. So I want to see how he feels, if this may aggravate his adductors a little bit. So I have him going more repetitions and volume and faster pace now, and we're just wanting to flush the fascia and get as much blood in there as possible. Freak. Come on, keep going. Good. Come on, you got more. Good, keep going. Good. Good. Come on, keep going. You got 3 more. Come on. Come on. 2 more. You're almost done. Last one. Good. Good breath. Good. All the way up. Good. Look at the size of this kid's legs. 3, 2, 1 more. Good. You need your water?
I think I'm okay.
So I get asked on my Q&A all the time, I get DM'd all the time for people that want me to come out of retirement and coach them. And you watch something like that, you sure you want me to come out and help out? Or maybe I should just stay retired. It's the volume and it's the pace. It isn't about how heavy you squat. You're never gonna squat as much as Stan Efferding. He's a goddamn rhino. And his body is just it's a different kind of mutant that can handle that kind of weight. However, it's a different kind of mindset to take yourself through the volume and pace like this. And a lot of guys, their ego gets in the way of them doing this kind of stuff. And I can promise you, when you get into volume like this, you're gonna grow. You're gonna grow. One of the things that I learned when I was young, I started out as a powerlifter too, and I was like, I'm gonna squat as heavy as I can every workout. And I actually had guys that were really knowledgeable. Jay Cutler was one of the people that said something to me. Ben Pekulski, who's got monstrous legs, said something to me that I trained too heavy. And they were like, you look like you train heavy, you got a good density, but you don't have the roundness. And it was when I started, if you guys watched the way Cutler trains, when I started getting into that volume and stuff like that, and that higher reps and that pace, things started to round out and develop more. And I do believe that the heavy stuff, of course, has its place. You know, especially when you're younger and you're building a foundation, but to take it to the next level, you've got to be doing volume, you've got to be doing supersets and giant sets and things that are keeping the muscle under tension for long periods of time. And oftentimes when you do that, you're going to end up throwing up like the freak just did. We're finishing off now with a single leg extension. We're just going with the unilateral exercise to really just finish it off. This is your finishing move. There's two ways that you can do this. Now, you can alternate legs, okay? Which means each leg gets to rest while the other one's going. Or if you want to make it more challenging, you do one leg at a time. Really, really concentrate on squeezing the muscle, squeezing all that blood flow in there, bringing the separation out more. I'm going to have him do one leg at a time. It's gonna be a little harder. We're doing only 3 sets of these. He's done a lot of volume already. I just want him to finish himself off. Plus, at this point, he's puked. His body's probably pretty much cashed out at this point, so we're just gonna finish him off. And then after this, I'm gonna make him do sprints. Just kidding. Done. That is legs. That is volume 3 of Project Freak. We've got 2 more body groups to do, and then I'll decide when you're gonna see his face. Then we're probably gonna go into our next phase of training. I'm gonna show you posing, I'm gonna show you meal prep, I'm gonna show you supplements, everything that I'm doing to take this already freak and turn him into Frankenstein, or Freakenstein. If you guys have any questions on any of the stuff that we're doing in the videos, feel free to DM me, contact me any way you want. If you have questions that you want thoroughly answered, send them to askpjbraun@blackstonelabs.com, and I will go through them on the podcast. We've got a lot of very good questions lately on training and dieting and whatnot that have been sparked from this. So, you guys want to guess who it is? Have you figured it out yet? Actually, one of my athletes did figure it out. She's fired if she opens her mouth. And that's legs. What do we got next? We got shoulders, and then we'll do arms. As always, peace out, bye.